Greetings and welcome back, one and all, to Robocraft and, of course, to the Hummingbird. A bot that I imagine we're going to be seeon quite a lot of over the coming episodes whilst I play around. Now, the Hummingbird has gone on through a few changes since the last time you saw it here, unless you managed to make one of my streams on Saturday, where I streamed a little bit of Robocraft and the Hummingbird had a few tweaks made to it. Now, that was very useful for me because it taught me much more about the rotor blades. And with that information in hand, we're going to be redesigning the Hummingbird. It is still going to be the Hummingbird. It is still going to be a chopper. It is going to change in shape slightly. Now let's go ahead and go to practice mode. Some cubes. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. Let's get back to building this now. Ideally, and it also looks like chat is being a little bit spammy, so I'm going to turn chat off for the time being. Now, ideally, I would like to actually take the Hummingbird up into the higher tiers. That is going to be my my goal, my end goal. So perhaps I should actually start working on tier 8. I don't actually see much problem with starting with tier 8, actually. Tier 6 was simply so that I could start playing with the rotor blades, but now I've got a decent idea of what I want to do. Now, I'm going to do something that is potentially rather stupid. Also, I'm going to turn on the mirror line. By the way, I forgot to mention how to turn on the mirror line in the last episode where I actually used it, and that is by pressing X. I believe you can rebind it, but I tend to use X. Now, I'm going to do something that is potentially silly. And I know, me doing something silly, perish the thought, but I'm going to try and design something that may resemble a real-life helicopter in some ways. Maybe not too aggressively, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes out. I mean, it's not really going to be based on a real helicopter in any, strict sense, but it'll have more of a helicopter feel to it than just me randomly slapping on rotor blades and calling that a helicopter. Let's build all of this out as well. Now, this vehicle is going to need to be fairly long, I imagine. Yeah, something like this should do. In fact, I might even pull the cockpit far forward. Yeah, I'm thinking that would probably be a good idea. Let's delete some of this. I'm loving the mirror line, as you can probably tell. So much awesome packed into a tiny little package. We'll have the cockpit somewhere around here instead. Maybe there for the sake of it. I see no reason not to have it there. There we go. And we'll build this out as well. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. So the cockpit is going to be nestled in somewhere there. So we really don't want this to be that much further out. But the problem with this is obviously the cockpit is exposed. It's right at the front of the vehicle. Something could easily knock it off. Now, what I'm thinking is I may actually have the cockpit towards the middle of the vehicle, perhaps, and just have a facsimile of a cockpit at the front for aesthetic purposes. But we'll have to see about that. In fact, I think that might be a better idea. Ooh, free premium code, Megabot607024. Very well. Let's go ahead and enter this code. Megabots 607024. What do we get with this? Congratulations! Did we get some premium time? I imagine we got some premium time. That's usually what the promo codes are. Now, we'll have that out there. How many cubes do we have left? We have loads of cubes. There are certain advantages to building the Solnobs in Victor through tier 8. Now then, as you can tell, I'm being very relaxed with the aesthetics at the moment. That will change, do not worry. Now, let's go ahead and place in the pilot seat. That needs to go about down there. Can I then build over the top? I cannot, but I can build here, and that is fine. Because we are going to run a rotor blade somewhere at the back, somewhere in the middle. And, I'm not completely satisfied with having a real life-ish looking shape to have. It has to be more futuristic than that. I mean, come on. This is Robocraft. We need to be pushing the boundaries of science here. Let's see, how big are you? You're a tier 7. We're going to need some tier 8s, at the very least tier 8s. And that is good because that's all we've unlocked up to. So, you know what, let's go for 4. Now, maybe more than we need, but we're going to go with 4. Now, I'm going to want 1 rotor blade up there somewhere. 1 rotor blade towards the rear. Actually, we'll move this rotor blade a bit forward. There, 1 there. This is obviously not a Chinook. So, you know, I'm not even trying to make a Chinook. What I am trying to do, though, is I've got a bit of an idea already starting to form, a proto-idea in my noggin that may lead to greatness. It may also lead to complete stupidity. I don't know. This is the give or take relationship with me and my brain. Sometimes it leads me to greatness. Usually it leads me to shenanigans, but they're always fun shenanigans, or at least I like to think so. I tell myself they're fun so that I don't cry. You know what? We could easily burrow this down. It doesn't strictly need... well, I really, really wish there was some way that I could rotate blocks when I'm trying to place them. So, for example, that could be rotated. Oh, what's it interfering with then? What are you interfering with? Really? Little block all the way back there? Little tiny block? Well, I guess the rotor blades do kind of... Well, actually... Oh, right, I see. It's this point that's interfering with that. That makes sense. That certainly does make sense. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of this there. Now we can see if perhaps we can fit in a little cube like this before we place it in our pilot seat. We might actually be able to get away with that. Sometimes I found that that will work. Yes, it will in this case as well. Fantastic. So we're capitalizing on the amount of connections that these blocks allow. That is always a good thing. Let's dig that back a little bit more and expand that out perhaps. Will you please let me do that normally? There we go. Actually, no. We'll take those away because they can be sloped blocks. Okay, so right now, we're not building a Chinook. We are building something far, far different. We need some sort of futuristic thing. But I'm not happy with this yet. It needs to be a little bit wider, I feel. It needs a... I hate to use this term because it's not quite what I mean, but it needs to be a bit more bulbous around the side. It needs to have a bit more of a shape to this front. We'll also have that sweep back a little bit more. Okay, that's starting to take shape. It's very hard to see right now because it's all one color, one type of block, so it doesn't really stand out so much, but I feel that we're getting there now. How tall are you? You're about 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 tall. That is quite tall. Quite a lot taller than I was anticipating, but okay. We'll build this out, and we'll see what we can get. Now, the nice thing with this is when it comes time for me to start adding all of the various little components here and there, the little shaped blocks, this mirror line is going to expedite that process several-fold, and oh my lord, I'm pleased with that. Now, where can I put you? Ah, fantastic. Okay, I can have these rotor blades dipped down a little bit. Now we're starting to get more futuristic looking. I approve. Let's build that out as well. Yes, I mean these side rotors are going to be much less heavily fortified, but we can live with that, I feel. So just place that there for now. See if we can plop this down inside. Probably can't. Oh, there's a whole section gone. Well, I guess we could get rid of all of that. Let's just get rid of it for now. And pop that there. Okay, we've got something going. It does frustrate me a little bit the way that is connecting, but that's fine. We'll build from this side out first. So we've got this going, and then we can build out from here all the way up. I think it needs to kind of connect across, though. Maybe. It'll interfere with the rotor blades, but there, unfortunately. That's fine. We'll fill this out. We'll dig that back just slightly. There we go. This is where we're connecting from then. Now, I appreciate it does look ugly at the moment. It'll start looking better soon. Trust me. Have I ever let you... Well, okay, don't answer that question. Don't even think about the answer. Just accept that it will look better. Damn it. I'm talking myself into a corner here. Right, okay. Or at least I actually do certainly hope that I haven't let anyone down recently. There we go. So we can't connect there, that's fine. But we can... No, we can't even connect there either. I'm not sure about this. Because they're fairly unhinged. Maybe if I have some sort of very thin connection going along here and connecting up in the middle there, it'll give me more of the kind of futuristic feel that I'm looking for. Some sort of futuristic copter style design, copter come aircraft, copter come fighter plane, maybe. We started with a fairly basic design that was very similar to a real world helicopter design. Now we're gradually evolving it into something distinct and unique. And I like this process, this iterative process of design. I approve of it. There we go. Ah, no, really? We were so close. So close and yet so far. Very well. I guess this build is enormous. We'll take 20 of you. And we'll just have to hope that all of that is going to be enough. Right, we'll build this down to about there. Have this connect up. There we go. And out a little bit. I mean, a lot of this will actually probably be replaced by different cubes shortly. There we go. I'm liking that. I am liking it. Okay, so we have our copter design here. Actually, we'll take that away. Now, this gives us a lot of room at the bottom to add in weapons. Oh my God. It does look bloody eye-bleedingly bad right now, but trust me, it's going to get better. Just bear with us, okay? This is a difficult transitional period. It is going to go from something made of Duplo to something made of Lego, and it'll be glorious for it. Right, let's jump into a quick practice match. I don't actually anticipate that we'll have any difficulty with this bot right now, but I do want to see how it moves around. Now, each one of these rotor blades does kind of slow it down a little bit. They're kind of like helium in a way. But that little rotor blade at the back is helping me turn. Okay, this is nice. Now, I'm wondering what type of bot we're going to be making here. We can turn fairly good. We do drift a little bit. Now, we could either go with a bomber. We could happily go with a medic, and this could be like a medevac kind of rapid response humanitarian aid vessel. Or we could go with plasma, be some sort of futuristic bomber. Or we could even, you know, I'm genuinely thinking we could go with SMGs and make this more of a gunship. I'm kind of liking that idea. I am liking that idea a lot. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm building a bot that I strongly suspect will exist in the higher tiers. Not just in the tier that I'm making it for right now, but it will lend itself to upgrading. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. But there we go. You notice the rotor blades at the front and the back do the majority of the turning. They pitch differently to give me a different kind of movement. I like that. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Let's see how high we can go. All the way up, please. High over the battlefield, where we can survey the state of play. We can dispense with tactical information to our teammates. I really do like the new maps. Oh my lord, they look so intricate. And I know this is like being given a gift and then saying, this gift is awesome, but it would be better if. And I do appreciate that is undapper. And I'm going to take the hit to my dapperosity for saying this. But my god, this map, now that they're so intricate, they're just begging for cliffs, for little tunnels and little paths up onto the cliffs. so that these aren't the domain of only flyers and walkers, but cars can get up there, but a precarious, really treacherous route that is too narrow for the large super tanks, but the little cruisers could get up there, and tunnels running all through. Ah, my lord, these maps. They could become something truly, truly amazing and diabolical all at the same time. Okay, I'm happy with flying around. And you know what? I was actually having a load of fun just flying around then. That's a good sign when I'm just happy to have a bot without weapons and just fly around with it. Now, there's one little thing that I want to do, and we're going to need more blocks for this. I appreciate that. But I fancy building it out. Building out these this curve here to kind of wing prongs. Maybe even changing the shape of this so it's less of a... Because what we've got right now is, if you follow my mouse, we've got a kind of hemisphere... Oh, not a hemisphere, a half circle going like that. And then another one going in the opposite direction. It's more of a... I forget the English word. I hate it when this happens. This is one of the biggest problems with not being a native English speaker. There's certain words. Because I was taught... in Welsh. It wasn't just that I had Welsh lessons or something like that, because quite a lot of people in Wales go to English-speaking schools and are taught Welsh in Welsh lessons. I went to a Welsh-speaking school. I was taught English in English lessons, but everything else was taught to me in Welsh. So there are certain words, like shapes, that I know the Welsh word for, but because I don't use it often enough in English, and because I used it so heavily in Welsh, I always struggle. So certain science apparatus, I haven't got a bloody clue what the English word would be. I really struggle. I have to pull out a dictionary when certain words pop up, and this is one that's popping up. I'm trying so hard. Elliptical? Is it? No, maybe. That's probably close enough. Yes, it's not the word I was looking for, but it's close enough. This is more of an elliptical sort of curve going on here. It's not a circle. It's not a circle so much. But if we had a larger curve around the outside, much more pronounced, kind of like a crescent curve going up there, and then another one, the same direction of the curve, but much shallower around the inside, that would give a really nice aesthetic. I think it would be fantastic. But for now, we need to add on the weapon components. And I'm really favoring going with SMGs. So that's what we're going to go with. We're in tier 8 at the moment. We're going to be making this into a gunship. Right, so we want one... Oh, actually, I want the mirror line, please. There we go. Gunship. Gunship there? No. I'm not building gunships onto my gunship. Gunshipception, my lord. We'll have one there. We're going to be able to have another one there. Oh, wow, okay. It's actually pretty good. Perhaps we'll get rid of that one, though. We'll have this one there. I love the way that it's actually letting me know that it's not letting me place them if they would interfere with each other. That's actually pretty good. We'll go for the... That was the tier 9s. Guess we could have a tier 10 at the front. Oh, we're pushing our luck there. Let's go down to the tier 8s. Let's not push our luck too much. We'll have 2 guns at the back. Maybe one... Or even... Ooh, could we? Could we afford to? We could. Guns on the sides. Oh, I'm liking this. We're not going to be able to have any over here, though, I fancy. Oh, maybe we can. Maybe we can. We can have 2 guns at the side there. Oh, I'm liking that a lot. Okay, well, we're quite firmly in tier 8 now. If I had one more tier 9... Let's go and... I'm not going to have enough, am I? It's going to be much more than that. Yes. Damn and blast. Okay, well, we'll live with that. We'll just have these 2 tier 9s there. In fact, I'll move them forward to there. And this gives me a pretty hefty gunship feel, I feel. Now, there's going to be a big part of this is just going to be redesigning and putting in different colors and stuff like that. I mean, I would like to have more colors on this. We've got a few tier 9s, but we're not going to be able to use those. Let's be honest with ourselves. I could use the tier 7s, though, without dropping the armor too much. I'm not looking at using electroplates on this build. I'm looking at this being much more of an actual gunship. I could pull this nose back a little bit. Get a little bit of block working in there. Can I place that? Yes, I could. Ooh, okay. We've run out now, but I do like it. I think we're doing a good job here. We'll probably scavenge quite a lot of blocks as I put the shape back to the bot, I imagine. So I'll just grab these from there. There we go. And probably something similar back here as well. There. I'm not sure why we want that kind of curve, but I kind of do, so we'll go with it. Now, yes, I really would like extra colors on this. I'd like to spend some time making this bot look good. The thing is, whether it's going to work well at the moment is the big question. Now, I've got some T9s that I can place down, if I can find a spot for them. Odds of me finding a place for these T9s, fairly bloody slim. I've got to be honest with you. Unless, maybe... T9s? Care you to be affixed? No, you're in the way. Ah, drat. That would have been a good position for those, but these rotor blades are really going to struggle. However, I guess if I were to build this out a little bit more in here, maybe, see, this is the problem. Perhaps, though, I could get away with connecting it like this. I need to scavenge some more blocks, that'll do. And pop that there. Let's see, can I get the T9s in then? Oh, I can! Ha-ha! I knew I'd be able to find a spot for you. But you're very low down now. You're much lower than my center of lift. This could cause issues for me later on. Quite severe issues, actually. So we want to try and address that now before those issues really develop. Let's pop that one there and pop you a little bit... Ah, drat, you have to go there. Okay, well, I'll just slide that one back then a bit. Okay, we've got plenty of thrust here, and we're almost out of tier 8. Which is fine, because there's not really much more I want to add. Let's go ahead and see if there are any special components. I wouldn't mind a tier 5 radar. Where on earth I would put a tier 5 radar, though? That is a completely other question. Completely different question. What are you interfering? Really? You're interfering with that there? Can you go there? No? What about all the way back here? No, okay. It's purely the position is messing everything up. Right. Let's get that back then. You're still interfering with it. My lord, you're a finicky bugger. Let's get rid of those. There we go. I knew I'd be able to find a spot eventually. Just a matter of time. I can use the shaped blocks here to sort that out a bit. I'm not sure I like it, though. Oh, maybe. Maybe I'll just have to live with that one. I won't worry too much about the shaped blocks there for now, though. But okay, that's not too terribly bad. I mean, I've got a lot of important stuff quite far back there. You know what, though? There's a possibility that I could fit it in here. No. Absolutely not. Not going to happen. Not in a million years. Nevertheless, I'm going to try. Can I? I can! Ha-ha! That's what you get. Perseverance, everyone. Never give up. There we go. Now we have the shape that we wanted. Let me push that forward a little bit. And this forward just a tad as well. Okay, so we've got our radar tucked underneath there. That's fine. It gives us our... I mean, it's weakened the spine a lot. I'll be honest with you. And it may not be worth it. I could just have it at the top and still have a fairly strong spine. And there's certainly something to be said about that. But at the same time, it does make the shape look even more interesting. Yeah, I'm quite liking this. I really, really am. Okay, let's pop it by here. We've pretty much got everything on this that we want. There are a few more things I could put on there. There are radar jammers and things like that. And I might well do this. Can I place those there? I could place a lot of them on this vessel. There's enough room for me to get an awful lot of radar jammers placed. And that would I mean, it's not going to save me all the time, but it will certainly help. Have I placed 2 or did I only place 1? No, I placed 2. Fantastic. So I've got 6 radar jammers on this now. Granted, they are only tier 5 radar jammers, but every little tiny bit will help. Especially considering I'm not going to be putting any more functional components in terms of weapons on you. We just don't need any more. We've already got 8 guns. That's more than I would usually put on anything like this. The only issue I'm worried about, really, is this. That position of that gun. If I dig this back, could I get those in there? No. Can I get them here, perhaps? No. I'm thinking that those thrusters are not going to be a good placement there because it'll interfere with this gun a lot, I imagine. These guns at the back are probably going to have a hard time hitting anything, though, thinking about it. When you factor in how much other stuff they're going to have to shoot past just to get to the front, I imagine those guns are more going to be for shooting at things that I'm just passing over the top of, much like a gunship, I suppose. Still fancying a gun down there, but not while we're in tier 8. We need a lot of good armor for this. I'm fairly happy with what we've managed to do. Let's take this out into a practice and see how it goes. This has been a very build-heavy episode. I do apologize for that, but looking at the time, we're probably not going to have much time for us getting into a battle, but hello there. We've got the... Everything is OP. Really? Not that I can see. Mind you, you are mostly made of tier 1 cubes, so that's fine. Okay, let's move on and see what we can do. On the move, attacking. Not too accurate, and that is pretty normal, I imagine. Given that the further away we are, the more our damage is going to decrease. SMGs are not rails. They are not built for the same sort of combat that rails are. Not anymore, anyway. But we're going to have to skim around and actually be a gunship. If we go up high, it's mostly for travel or scouting. Or for engaging other air vehicles, which we could do. We would be able to engage air vehicles relatively easily. If there's a copter bomber, if there's a plasma bomber helicopter up there, then as long as we can get above it, we're going to do a lot more damage. We'll be able to tear it apart, in fact. But that all depends on me being able to fly. And it's not as intuitive as I would hope, honestly. It does sometimes feel a little bit awkward, but no, I'm fairly happy with it. Let's take you out from afar. I mean, if we're this low, we're going to die, because someone's going to shoot us. And, you know, if we're close enough for our SMGs to be a danger to someone, their SMGs are also close enough to be a danger to us. High up, we're probably away from the plasmas, but as we're getting closer, we're going to be in danger. Also, rails are pretty much just going to wreck this vehicle. However, it does have a lot of redundancy in having 4 copter blades. It also has quite a few guns. On the whole, yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking it a lot. So what I'm going to do is we're going to wrap the episode up there. A build-heavy episode, but we have managed to upgrade the Hummingbird to something I feel is going to be suitable for the future. And when you rejoin me for the next episode, I will have gone to the effort of reshaping the craft. I will take all of that painstaking work. You're not going to have to worry about it watching me do it. I will get everything in position and nice and smoothed out. And when you come back, we're going to spend probably an entire episode just playing around with the Hummingbird in various types of battles. We may even dip into a challenge. But first and foremost, Mark II. Lowercase k, please. There we go. The Hummingbird Mark II has been completed. And yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with it. I don't know how functional it's going to be. I guess we're going to have to find that out in the battles. We may be making a Hummingbird Mark III in the episode after the next, but who knows? For now, though, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you'll be joining me for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care.